I'm Tom Hewlett. I'm a producer with Konami on Silent Hill Shattered Memories. So Silent Hill Shattered Memories is a reimagining of the original game. And so what that means is we've taken the core premise, you're Harry Mason, your daughter's missing, and you're searching for her in Silent Hill, and then we've changed everything beyond that. So even people who've played the original game on PlayStation to death won't know what to expect from this game. They're going to get a brand new experience. We were looking at the Wii controller, and the two trademark features of Silent Hill are the flashlight and the radio static. Well, right there on the controller, you're already holding a flashlight, and there's a speaker in it for radio static. So it made a lot of sense to try out Silent Hill on the platform. It also allowed us to do a lot of things to immerse the player. I'm constantly using the flashlight for puzzles. I'm reaching into the game. I'm opening cupboards myself. So it allowed us to remove that element of feeling like I'm connected to a console, it's connected to a television, and I'm passively doing this, and made me feel more active. And since you're more immersed when you're playing, we can scare you more easily. Silent Hill always has this alternate nightmare world, and traditionally it's this rusty hell-type world. But in Silent Hill 2, one of the things you discovered is that any person in Silent Hill is going to see something different. But the games have never explored that. They've never showed us what these different things can be. And so, since we're going back to the roots of the series, we really wanted to try something different and say, what else is scary? And so this, if you're in a snowy environment, it's kind of lonely. There's this weird silence that settles over the environment. And we wanted to recapture that in the game and make it creepy. Looking at survival horror games now, they really focus on action. We refer to them as action horror games because you have a ton of weapons, and the fun is really in shooting the gross monsters and killing them. But that's less scary. If we can make you feel less empowered and more hopeless, but then force you to get from point A to point B, that's a lot scarier. So we removed the empowering elements, we removed the ability to kill monsters, and now there's these relentless creatures, they're going to chase you. You don't have a gun, you don't have a pipe, you can't kill them. If they jump on you, you can throw them off, you can throw them into walls, you can kind of hurt them and delay them, but you can't kill them. So your strategy is really get the monsters out of your immediate vicinity, escape them, get out of their reach, figure out how to get where you're going, and use strategy to outsmart them. I can't get into too many details about boss encounters right now, but people should sort of think about what a boss encounter is. Boss encounters aren't necessarily a giant creature that you have to hit a bunch of times. They're really challenging places where you have to use all the skills you've learned up to that point. We've changed a lot in this version, and again, we didn't just change it because we thought it needed changing. We're fans of the original too, and so we rewrote the story in a way that it's interesting, and these changes sort of fit in with the theme of the game. People have already seen in our previous screenshots the Sybil the cop. She's back, but she looks entirely different. She's featured in the plot differently, and we just released a trailer with a character Dahlia, who in the original is this elderly cult leader, crazy woman. And in ours, we've shown that she's a younger sort of punk rocker chick. So players can look forward to things like that and more. The game's actually watching players at all times and changing based on that, from in small ways to big ways. So in a puzzle, the appearance of Coke cans I have to shake, they might be beer cans instead. But then later on, I might meet a different character, or the character I meet might treat me differently, or have entirely different dialogue. So the story does evolve based on the psychological profile that the game is building on you as you play. So the psychological profile really is based on the idea that in all the Silent Hill games, the things you see are based on the main character's psychology. So there's this messed up individual, he wanders into Silent Hill, and you're playing what he sees. So we decided to take that and make it a gameplay element. So literally every decision you make in the game factors into your psychological profile, and the game changes based on that. So just something as you might not notice, you're walking down a hallway and there's a sign on the door and it says, exit to your left, restroom to your right. Well, if I go left, the game's going to know that I took the exit right away. If I go right, the game's going to remember that as well as if I went in the male or female restroom first. So all these little things, and we're learning about you and who you are as a person, and then changing the game to fit your experience. Kiri Yamaoka is returning. He's done the music for all the games in the series. He's back. He's creating an all-new soundtrack. As well as when we started the project, we went to the original team that worked on the first game. And since we're reimagining it, we asked them, what were your goals working on the original game? What were you trying to accomplish? And then, removing everything we knew about the first game, we tried to work towards those same goals. So in the end, it's true to what Silent Hill 1 was trying to accomplish, but in an entirely new way. Silent Hill Shattered Memories is going to be out this fall for Wii, PS2, and PSP.